This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. So I titled this video Preparing for the Collapse. And it really just goes into the whole reason why we chose to start a homestead and the reason why we chose the location that we decided upon for our homestead. So when I say preparing for the collapse, that could be really anything. I mean, I don't know what's coming, but we've had a strong sense that something is coming for quite some time. And, I think a lot of people have had a sense that something bad is coming. And who knows what it could be. I mean, is it an economic collapse, social unrest? I mean, we hear talk now about possible civil war, maybe natural disasters. I mean, we hear about the dangers of solar flares, who knows, EMP attacks. I mean, the list goes on and on. The threat to our way of life and the system that we have lived in for many years is right on the verge in many different areas of collapsing. But that's not the only reason that we've decided to start building a homestead. I mean, I'm not a prophet. I don't know for sure what the future holds. I mean, who knows? We might somehow be able to pull out of this and society might level out and I might be able to live out my years. I mean, who knows? So the second reason why we would like to prepare a homestead is to be self-sufficient, to get out of the trap that we find most everybody is trapped in throughout our society, and that is the trap of debt and being a slave to corporate enterprises and being stuck in the constant cycle of a full-time job as you struggle to keep up with the bills that keep pouring in. It's just a trap that I have felt like I really stumbled into, and I want to get free from that. I want to be able to build something where we can have livestock, where we can be more self-sufficient, where we can work for ourselves, and the work that we do benefits our family and our way of life and doesn't pad the pockets of corporate enterprises and the wealthy. So with those two reasons in mind, we had to decide on what was going to be the best location. So we had a couple different factors. First off, what can we afford? There's all kinds of property for sale everywhere. Some very beautiful places that you can buy property that's extremely expensive. But the other factor is, if we are facing a collapse of society, where can we set up a homestead that can be away from the main population of people? Because if society collapses, your primary concern is not going to be if Russia is going to attack America. It's not going to be government oppression. It is going to be the masses of people who are in panic. And so we just tried to come up with a place where we could just stay out of the way, be away from the masses of people, and provide for ourselves and for our group. And the way that we really came up with the best location is I kind of gauged the way people think in our area. And it's different everywhere. I mean, wherever you're located. For us, there's mountains with thick forests and all kinds of streams and lakes and tons of wildlife. And I've talked to people in our area, and they said if everything collapsed, they would take the only resource that they have, which is plenty of guns and ammo, and they would just take their family and run to those beautiful mountains, and they would hunt and survive. The sad reality of how that would play out is most everybody would head that same way, and what you would have is 1 million people in those mountains, and every living creature would be shot and killed and gone within a matter of months, and these people would take their only resource and turn on each other to keep themselves and their families fed. So we chose to go the opposite way, to go out to the desert. Because as I've talked to people, they think of the desert as a barren wasteland. They think there's nothing out there, there's no way to survive, and they're completely wrong. There are a lot of resources out there in the desert, all kinds of wildlife out there. Sure, it's not the most beautiful place. There's not lots of trees and lakes and streams, but there are springs out there, natural water springs that we found. And so there's plenty out there. Probably going to have to work a little harder to sustain yourself and your family, but we decided that that was probably going to be the best option for us and our family. And it also worked out for us as far as what we could afford. Because since everybody looks out at the desert and thinks that it's a barren wasteland, that means that land out there was much cheaper. And we were able to find something that was going to fit within our budget. And we're very happy with what we found. So what's going to work for you? Well, I don't know. That's going to be for you to decide. You're going to have to analyze your situation. What can you afford? What's it like in your area, in your state, in your country? What are the resources? You're going to have to weigh all those options yourself. Who knows, maybe what we've done is something that you can duplicate. Maybe, watching some of the other channels and how they have set up, their homestead or their emergency preparations might work better for you. But what you need to do is something. Come up with a plan. Start doing something for your family. Form a group of like-minded individuals and get prepared, because something is coming. And those who are not prepared are going to be the ones who are a threat to those of us who are prepared. So with that, we wish you all the best. Take care.